Please welcome to the podcast, Allie Cobrin. Hi.
Hi.
First of all, I love your work as an actress. I love following you on social media. I've had such a good time getting to know you as a friend. And also, lastly, but almost most importantly for this conversation, you and your husband are so cute. Oh my God.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's fun because we met you together as a couple. So you do know us both together.
Well, first I'm going to give you the stage to introduce yourself if you can. And then we could talk about that weekend that we met when you were pregnant but didn't know it.
But didn't know, exactly. Well, my name is Allie Cobrin. I'm an actress. I'm pregnant. I met Daniela 6 months ago.
Was it already 6 months ago?
Well, I'm 6 months pregnant. So 5 months ago.
Wow.
And we met at would you call it a Jewish convention?
I guess it's like a conference.
A Jewish conference?
Yeah. Right, that sounds so weird.
Sometimes I just call it my Jewish thing.
Yeah, your Jewish thing. It was a cool conference, like a bunch of like thought leaders getting together and being like, yo, that Kanye guy, eeks.
This was happening the weekend, like Kanye was going through his Kanye-ness that weekend that we were conferencing.
In LA. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was weird. Except that whole time, I kept seeing you and your husband, Zach, like canoodling. It was just like kind of very like, it was a heavy weekend, particularly because in LA at that time there were like, neo-Nazis, and we don't need to give them any more airtime, but it was heavy. And then there was the two of you just like kind of making out and
well, in addition to being in LA for a nice long weekend for this Jewish conference, we also were like, we're on vacation.
Yes.
We had been living in New York then maybe a year because I call LA home.
Oh.
So I was in LA for 15 years before that year. So I was like, we're going back to LA, we're getting in and out, we're seeing our friends, and we're doing our Jew thing.
Yes. Oh, I didn't realize that you
the
were
neo-Nazis were
yeah.
So whatever.
Yeah, they were so whatever. No big deal. But you were pregnant that time?
Yes. So that was late October. So I was pregnant. And in hindsight, now it's so obvious I was pregnant that weekend because we're women. We know what's going on in our bodies.
Yeah, like your cycle.
You know your cycle for sure. And just specifically, I was late in LA. But I was like, we're traveling. I'm eating in and out. I don't know. Like, I'll get home and then everything will be normal. And I got home and I was pregnant.
So when you just told me this story, like I was like, right, because you were trying.
And then I was like, no, that's the thing. We were not trying.
So this was a surprise?
We thought we were preventing.
Oh my God. What?
Yeah.
So this was like a surprise pregnancy.
Such a happy surprise and such a funny, specifically timed surprise. To be specific, about 18 months prior to getting pregnant, like all throughout COVID, I was like, should we do it now? Should we do it now?
Right.
Everyone else is doing it. This is a good time.
A lot of actors did it then.
And everyone did it. And all my friends are getting pregnant and giving birth during COVID. And I'm like, this is a terrible time and a perfect time.
I know. I think it took a lot of balls.
Yes. A lot of friends, I think it happened
I'm really making great. I'm a grown-up.
Well, I'm not.
Right, okay, cool. Not yet.
Not yet.
About 5 months.
Then hopefully.
Right, yeah. Fingers crossed.
So COVID didn't feel like the right time. There was a lot of anxiety. But then we decided October 2023. Is that where we were? Or 2022? Thank you. Who knows? I was like, that will be
Pregnancy
good.
brain is real.
Oh, it's beyond. You'll see. I don't know names. I don't know where I am.
Yeah, all of your energy is being pooled to making eyeballs and teeth that you won't see for a year after this person arrives. Like, So, anytime you like forget a sentence,
I know nothing.
that you like literally don't know how to make words out of your mouth, you just remind yourself like, I'm making arteries. Yeah.
Oh, yes. And maybe like ovaries or maybe testes. I don't know the sex.
Oh, you don't, and you're not going to
We're
know?
not going to find out.
Did you know that ovaries are, I think, maybe the first like organ made inside a little baby girl's body because biology is so paramount to the human species that we're just like, make sure she can make more of herself before she's even herself.
Yes. I didn't know that that was the first organ, but I did know that if it's a she, will be born with all of her eggs that she will ever have. So my grandchildren are currently in my belly.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
And I said that the other day to Zach, my husband, and he was like, whoa.
Whoa.
And I was like, yeah, no, grandbabies are in here too.
Deep.
Like, what?
I know, it's really crazy. And you were in your grandmother's belly.
I can't comprehend that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm so glad I said that. Yes.
Yes. Well, my mom was in her, and then I was in her.
I know. Along with all the other motherfuckers that never got here.
Yeah.
Or do you have siblings?
I do. Okay. My mom, me and my brother are both from my mother. So he came first 5 years before me, and then I came
But the other
later.
ones like bit the dust.
No one else.
No one else
it.
got here.
Yeah.
Suckers.
Yeah, sucks to be them.
Okay, but you did start thinking about
So we're thinking
trying.
about it. We're planning on it. We're both going, we're old. We need to have
You're
kids.
not old.
Well, we just were like, I was like in my 20s going, I want to be a young mom. Oh. But then I also was like, Allie, don't. Like the guys I was dating and the guys I was around, like I'm so glad I didn't have children with them.
I know.
But
also, because the first thing I said was like, I love your work as an actress, and blah, blah, blah. But you and your husband are so in love.
well,
There's such mutual respect. This is like exactly the union you want to have the world get populated by.
I'm so excited. Thank you. That's so sweet. I'm so excited to be his partner and for him to be the father of my children. I never that piece I never knew or saw or could wrap my mind around. All I knew was I wanted to be a mom. And I'm also not really grateful I wasn't 24 years old and it's time, it's time for some women but I was not in the place.
I definitely was not
absolutely
in the place.
not.
Yeah.
So we're talking about it, we're planning on it, and then we decided, and because Zach is crazy, he wanted a Leo baby. So he calculated.
Wait, is he into astrology?
Yes.
Wow.
He's a Leo. And if you know anything about Leos, Leos love Leos. So it's very Leo of him to be like, we're having a Leo child. And I was like, great. Whatever. Cool. So he calculated that we needed to get pregnant in October to have a Leo baby. And we were like, great. We have 2 Octobers. And then in that October, it'll be 2022. We'll do it. And his calculation was wrong because we're having a Cancer.
And also, what's really interesting is I think before you have children or get pregnant, you think you have any control over anything.
It's so ignorant.
It's you really don't, you have no, this baby is forming inside of you without your eyeballs on it. You don't know
And I'm
anything.
but it's going to be a Cancer and this, and we planned this. No. So we obviously had no control. It's so ignorant to be we're going to do it in this month and then we'll have the baby.
But everyone does. It's not ignorant. It's just naive. That's naive. But
And then as it became closer, I started having that fear creep in, we have no control, and what if it's hard? And what if we can't?
Right, yeah, everyone has
hadn't done that. And that's a big thing. We should go to the doctor and, get these things checked out and do the things and blah, blah, blah. And then all the conversations, and it's August, and I sit him down and I go, I'm not ready. And he was like, what? And I put a whole kibosh on it, and I said, I don't think I'm ready.
Yeah.
In hindsight, I was just afraid.
Yeah. Rightfully so.
But then baby knew what baby wanted to do, and baby came anyway.
Then, wait, when did we?
On the exact timing that we had said we were going to do it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't so when we were.
Do you think they'll be a really compliant child? I really, fingers crossed.
I don't know.
Just always
Compliant or like, well, there was something that happened the other
I guess
day.
you
And I
don't
was
want
like,
a compliant child. I guess you just want an easygoing.
yeah.
Maybe, but wouldn't that be nice if they were so suggestible that they would even enter the world right when you want them to?
Yeah, and we thought we were preventing that from happening, and it didn't. It baby's here no matter what. So yeah, it was like such a wonderful surprise and such a whirlwind that it also just made sense to not find out the sex, because I don't know why that makes sense in my mind, but it's like
the surprise is?
It's the only surprise in life that is like,
wow,
that much of a surprise. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just was like, we have to do it.
Are you going to have 2 different names?
We have a couple names picked. They're both kind of gender neutral. I feel very strongly that I need to see the child and hold the child and meet my child before the name, before I know.
Allie, that's so Jewish of you, because I'm just saying, because there's a teaching that, like, you know, a parent has a prophecy when they see the child, and when you name a child, it's a sort of it's a prophecy onto them, you know? Like,
I didn't know that, but I feel that so strongly.
Yeah, that it also paints their worldview, the way other people view them. Like, it's a real, like, it's a blessing.
I really see that, and I feel very connected to my name, Allie, and I know that my parents didn't know whether I was a boy or a girl. They were very excited to find out. They had a few different names. So they did that whole thing too, and then my mom said specifically, like, you came out and, like, you were Allie, you were not Carly. Like, Carly was another option. Yeah.
I could see you playing a Carly. Like,
I've
a really
played
cute Carly.
A Carrie, a Kara, and everything that starts with a C and a K. And now if I ever audition for someone with a name like that, I'm like, well, then I have to get it.
I mean, because that's, like, basically like my fake name.
This is what I do.
Yeah.
I do Karas. Whatever.
Carly's coming your way.
Okay.
That's
Cool.
that's my prophecy.
Are you writing this for me?
I'm writing it for you.
Okay, great. Thank you. I appreciate it.
We should just write stuff.
That would be great.
That's really what we should be doing.
Yeah.
You wrote a very interesting pregnancy announcement. What was that? That was so cool. It was like a music video.
Yeah.
It was so romantic.
I gotta give the credit to Zach, because he's the, like, mastermind behind the, like, over-the-top romance that
Really?
he really, really is. Like, the way he proposed, like, details from our wedding, and then now specifically how we announced our being pregnant. We've literally filmed a music video with to one of our, like, newly favorite songs that just felt like it was about us having a baby. And then we also incorporated the heartbeat from the actual ultrasound and, like, mixed the music with the heartbeat. And I was like, cool, I guess I'll order, like, a dress or a gown to wear.
Really nice gown. It was
Thank
really
you.
pretty.
So yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Well, he's a musician. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, he's a singer. And I wanted him, I was like, you should sing this. Like, it was a JP Sax with Charlotte Lawrence song. And I was like, you should sing it. And, like, I don't know, do both parts. And then, like, I don't know. And he was like, that's even more, like, we already put so much work into this. And, like, we have so much going on that we just used their voices.
But you, like, broke Instagram when you posted it. Like, I tried to, like, what happened? That was so...
I wish I understood what happened, so...
It was just too good news. Instagram was just like, you know what? I'm hearing bad news after bad news. That's what I'm built for.
Yeah. What's it called? The rights for music.
Oh, that's
so
what it is.
the
Okay,
song was
sense.
on Instagram, so we thought, like, it's public use to use the song through Instagram. But because we added our baby's heartbeat, it then thought we were stealing their music, calling it our own.
Oh.
So it was actually adding the baby's heartbeat and, like, all this extra mixing to the already produced music that really messed it up for us. And then, so every time we kept putting it on, it would disappear. And I had, like,
With, like, no notice? No one
No notice.
Oh, wow.
And really unsure of what's happening. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm trying to tell people I'm pregnant. And now I have, like, random cousins being like, I just saw you were pregnant, but now my mom says it's not there. Are you? And I was like, I hope I still am.
Yes. Oh my God. I commented on that post maybe 5 times.
I was
like, it's going through.
Because it kept getting deleted.
I was so excited.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think a lot of us. It was just the romance of it.
It was very exciting. Our parents were like blown away. I don't know why. Like no one thought we were like gonna be pregnant.
I guess, I don't know. Why did no one think? I wonder why. Because you're
I don't
both
know.
ambitious people, and I guess we sort of assume
Yeah, I feel
it
like,
has to work in line with the actor's schedule. And
which is something I used to think about when I was younger, and then COVID came, and then I was like, I don't know what an actor's schedule is anymore.
Yeah.
I had such dreams and plans of when I'm on this TV show, and then we're on hiatus, and then I get pregnant.
yeah,
and
that's
then
the plan. That's my plan. That's everyone's plan.
That would have been beautiful.
That was everyone's plan. I know. The only person I know who that worked out for is Teresa Palmer.
Yes. Well, she is always pregnant.
She's always pregnant.
Has a lot of opportunities to make this work.
Yeah, but she also is always on a TV show.
Always on a TV show.
Yeah, but I don't know anyone who that's worked out for other than her.
Yeah.
Because what's interesting, and maybe we touched on this once when we were, in the first season, but actors are on maternity leave during pregnancy instead of after pregnancy, which can be an interesting experience.
Absolutely. The first 3 months before announcing I was pregnant and I wasn't showing, I was auditioning business as usual. And then now it's like, well, I can't start a new show. It's like two, and then I won't.
Unless you know the team.
Unless I know the team and the team wants to work with me, or if it's something I've done before and they're bringing me back, like for sure. But now it's just, okay, baby comes in July, and then after that, when I'm ready to like
Come back.
get back in the game, I'll get back in the game.
Right, like at your 6-week appointment when you can have sex, you can also like...
Maybe audition.
Yeah. Which is interesting because, and it's just a heads up, hey, here we are, heads up. That's not the way it goes for most people.
Yes.
And I just want to offer you that's not, we don't live a most people life.
Right.
And it's like a really vulnerable time postpartum. And we have to make money and continue to work. And I think that there are ways that you can continue to breastfeed if you're breastfeeding by having like, maybe your mom. Your mom seems great. Maybe your mom or a baby nurse come on set with you.
Yeah. That was the dream. And that is the dream. Maybe, hopefully it happens. I still don't know. But yeah, I would love to have my baby on set with me in a trailer.
It's
and
cute.
I pump between scenes.
Yeah, it's cute. And you're also pumped full of oxytocin. Like you have literally cuddles all day long. You've like made an actual miracle.
Wild.
Human. You're totally in love and vulnerable. I mean, the thing is like you're totally in love, and if you're not feeling good, that's something to consider.
Yeah.
But, for the most part, when you are lactating, if lactating is something that ends up happening, like you're also full of oxytocin. Full. So
Can't wait.
Even if you're like sleep deprived, there's something like really kind of like you're in this like liminal space.
Yeah.
You like they say when a baby is born, a mother is born. And you sort of like see the whole world in a new way. It's very artistic. It can be very fruitful. It can be very exciting. And it just is different than our friends who work at corporate jobs.
Totally.
I mean, but we're used to that.
Yes. No, everything's always been different. And yeah. Yeah, I also think it would be really crazy to be like, I'm on my 6 weeks of maternity leave, and then like I'm going back to my corporate job, like leave my baby at home all day, which so many women have to do to continue to have their careers.
Or want to do.
And I understand all of those things, and I'm in such, not limbo, but like it's such an unknown because I don't know when I'm working next. So I don't know when I'm struggling or thriving with baby and work at the same time, or maybe it's mostly baby for a few months or several months, and I don't know.
Well, the pattern that I see often is just that like you're either full-time with the kid if you want to be, and you can always like have a baby nurse or a babysitter available for your own self.
Yeah.
For if you want that.
Yeah.
Or Zach can also take care of the baby, obviously.
Who?
The baby daddy. But then I had my friend Anisha Nagarajan has 2 children. She's been on Broadway several times, and she was in Outsourced on NBC. She's so funny. Anyway, she always says, like, when I'm with my kids, I'm full on with my kids. And when I'm not, I'm not. There is no in between. Like, either she's on a Broadway stage or, at La Jolla Playhouse, and she is doing her music and her life's work guilt-free.
That's amazing.
Or she's like baking and doing crafts. I mean, like, I don't bake and do crafts. But I just loved that. I thought that was like such good advice. Like, we don't live a sort of life where, I can come home at, I don't know, 5 o'clock. And that's just our pattern. That's our rhythm. Our rhythm is like, we are full on here and full on there. And mommy always loves you.
Yeah.
And there's no problem with that.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I wish I had known that before having kids, is that, like, you can totally leave. You can leave and come back, and, like, that connection can never be severed.
Totally.
It's actually an impossibility.
Yeah.
And, like, if you miss the kid, you miss the kid.
Which I imagine happens.
Yeah, you miss the kid. It's a funny thing because, like, now you know that, like, like, they're living inside
yeah,
you.
it's so bonkers.
So to, like, even have the baby on the outside is, like, a real mind fuck.
Yeah. No, I can't imagine. The whole thing is really wild. Like, every day I wake up and I'm like, what is happening?
I mean, what is happening? How has it been going?
Really good. I'm in the good trimester. My first trimester, I was sick. No one told me.
No one told you that, like, morning sickness isn't, like, actually, it doesn't happen in the morning.
In the morning. It's
what?
all day.
It's all day
20
long.
hours a day.
Ew.
Yeah.
Puking?
Yeah.
No.
And just, like, sometimes the puking was actually, like, better. Once I puked, I was better than not puking, and the just, like, struggling of nausea.
Did you just, like, do your life as if nothing was happening?
Kind of.
Yeah. You just soldier on. This is the weird thing about
laid around. I work part-time at a restaurant, and I went and I did that. I was, like, a little social, but I also, like, was like, no, I have a cold, and, like, didn't do a lot of things.
But you do sort of feel like you have a cold. Like, there's just, like, a low-grade yuckiness.
Yes. Oh,
I always had this
high-grade yuckiness.
I had this feeling when I was pregnant where I'd be like, I feel like on one level, like, spiritually, this is so profound, and, like, physically, this is just gross.
Yeah.
This is just, like making fingers and toes out of my pizza. It's just like,
oh my God.
What is happening?
Yeah.
But you're better from the first trimester.
Totally better. At, like, week 14-ish, it all just vanished. And it was so crazy because everyone said, like, it probably, like, most likely it's just all going to disappear at your second trimester. And I was like, great. And then as it continued for 3 months, I was like, I don't believe you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I'm going to wake up and feel better. Like, I hope you're right.
No, you're like, this is my life now.
But this feels like this is forever.
Yeah.
And it went away.
Yeah, I'm so glad. Hey friends, it's Daniela, the host of the Mom Curious podcast, and I hope you're enjoying. I just wanted to take a quick break to promote another podcast on this network, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. So if you're interested in the many pivots life takes you on, and you'd like to learn how to tackle those moments with poise and maybe some psychedelics on the way, listen to Rebellious Reinvention. My episode on her podcast airs in May, and if you'd like to listen along, go to Rebellious Reinvention wherever pods cast. What are some of the things that you wish you had known?
That's the thing, is it was a lot of, I don't know if I would have been better set up to know had I known, because I, like, wasn't preparing anyways, but just things I didn't expect. I didn't expect that at 6 weeks pregnant, not even showing, I'd be waking up in the middle of the night to pee. I was like, already? I thought that was when you're big and the baby's literally pushing your bladder. And I'm like, are you saying there's something in there pushing my bladder? I can't see anything, and I'm already peeing all the time?
Were you more thirsty? Were you drinking more?
No, I was probably drinking like a little bit less. I was dealing with dehydration because I was like so nauseous and it was hard to keep hydrated. Like,
So they say like you can't be like a little bit pregnant.
yes.
Yeah, you're like either pregnant or you're not pregnant.
Yes.
Like it doesn't matter how far along you are. Like you're just like waking up in the middle of the night.
Just like all of a sudden, like all the pregnancy things right away. Also, like a lot of people, they say it's very common to suffer like pregnancy rhinitis. So you just feel stuffy.
Yes.
And it's like cold and flu season and then COVID. And I'm like, I've had a stuffed nose for 5 months. There was a period of time where I took COVID tests like every other day.
Yeah. I wasn't pregnant in COVID, so I never had to think about that. But I would sing. Like I would have singing gigs because like it didn't matter that I was pregnant, or voiceovers were my bread and butter for like ever. And I'd be like, I sound like stuff. Like,
Yeah. No,
yeah,
it's
like, I
so
sounded really
nasally,
stuff.
the congestion. You can't take decongestants.
Right.
You can't take anything.
Can't take
You
anything.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know what life is like without allergy medicine.
Yeah. Oh, so wait, you just stuffed up.
Because so I'm just stuffed up, uncaffeinated.
Right, uncaffeinated. I ended up having caffeine with my daughter.
I
and
started
still
again.
don't know.
I'm now back on a little caffeine. But in the beginning, I was too nauseous. Coffee smelled
Right.
crazy.
And it's like if you're ever thinking about getting off coffee when you're pregnant, it's a great time just because you're just feeling gross anyway.
Yeah.
So like the caffeine withdrawal is just another
Yeah.
layer of gross. You'll get through it.
Absolutely. No one told me about like indigestion and like the lack of bowel movement.
Oh my God, the lack of bowel
And
movement.
like when you're like, I'm kind of PMSy, and then you get your period, so you're like, thank you, and everything's better again. But you're like, PMSy, but I've been pregnant for 70 days, so I think I'm just still PMSy.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I used to drink pickle water.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I used to drink pickle water and take stool softeners.
okay.
I took stool softeners. Are
Yeah.
you allowed to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm taking, it's called colon broom.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because like this is a normal thing. The constipation is crazy.
And
because all of the water also is going into like the freaking sack.
Yes. And everything in your body has relaxed, so your bowels don't care to do their job. They're just like, we're chilling, we're hanging out, full of things that need to be eliminated.
So gross. What else?
The gas.
Gas. I love you so much.
My doctor referred to it as wind. I was complaining about something or another, and he was like, how's your wind? And I was like, excuse me?
Wait, like.
And then he said, I think flatulence or whatever the medical term for gas is. And I was like, oh, it's bad.
It's so bad.
It's so
but
bad.
It's because of the constipation, right?
I think he said it's like muscles. Like all your muscles are relaxed, everything, you're constipated. They love this. This is great.
It's relaxing.
It's so sexy to be pregnant. It's just like sexy or sweaty and
oh my
gassy.
God, it's so good. Just bringer of life.
I'm so sweaty right now.
I did it, but we're all sweaty. You need to know that. That's not just you. Also, wait, I used to take like prenatal Pilates and gyrotonic, and I was so flexible.
Oh, yes. They say everything's relaxed in your,
So flexible. Like, and I've never been that flexible ever again because, I mean, I guess you need that for, like, your body's getting ready for labor.
The big day.
The big day. How do you feel about the big day
Big
coming
delivery.
up? It's not coming up anytime
It
soon.
doesn't feel like it's coming up anytime soon, but it does feel like I need to start preparing for it. And this is actually, I have this question for you. What did you do to prepare
I listened
for
to
labor?
I listened to a podcast called The Birth Hour, actually.
Okay.
The host is a proponent of unmedicated labor, which I was interested in at the time. Both of my children were born with an epidural. My son also, I needed Pitocin, so that didn't end up happening for me. And I just want to put it out there that it really is okay.
Yeah.
It's really okay. And so are C-sections, just for the record. But I did enjoy listening to every single one of those.
Okay.
I binged that podcast in
Yeah.
a major way. Because I think what's cool is that you'll find out that it's sort of, they all are so different. they are so different. The way people get into this world is so different. The duration, the whatever, all of it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of nice to know that your way is going to be different too. Like so with my first pregnancy, my water broke, but I didn't know because it just felt like I was peeing.
Interesting.
Did I tell this story already?
Were you on a toilet or?
Oh, no.
So you just were like, oh, I must be peeing in this non-toilet location.
But I had been pregnant for 10 months. Like it was already, I was basically 42 weeks pregnant and I'm this crunchy hippie lady not wanting to do induction.
Yeah.
I needed to be induced, guys. But it was like 42 weeks in and I'm just like walking, thinking I'm peeing in my pants. Because like, okay, this person is like on my bladder. Like we're just gonna have to pee now. That's okay. I'm walking around for like 2 days thinking, everything's normal. And I spoke to the doula and she's like, you know what, why don't you put a pad on, see if it's actually urine. And then when I woke up in the morning, it was like, no, it's clear. She's like, that's amniotic fluid. You need to go to the hospital. Oh my God. Yeah. So I feel like when I got to like listen to all of these podcasts, I got to listen to all these women. I say this all the time here where it's like, we really should be in like a village full of women where we're attending births.
That sounds amazing.
All the time. Whether we have children or not, like we should be there, knowing what is happening. I mean, I was telling you about my friend Caitlin who came in, and she was just like giving us like a talk about what's inside our uterus. We don't have any clue what's going on.
No.
So when I got to like listen to all of these birth stories, it felt good.
Yeah.
It felt good. Like I was, and I'm not an expert after 2 births, but like of my own. But I thought that was really
information
helpful.
Is amazing.
Information
is powerful and enlightening and makes everyone feel better. And that's the thing is I literally had 0 information and now I'm slowly gathering it by just talking to people I know who've given birth.
Yeah.
And like really, and asking the questions that now I realize are important because until now I didn't really know what I was like, how's your birth? And they were like, good. And I was like, cool.
Yeah. Well, like, it's also personal, right? You're talking about your like vagina.
Oh yeah. It's very, the conversation, it's so funny. Like, talk to a pregnant stranger and the two of you, you're like, okay, well, my discharge.
Right, but then you like walk into a room with like normies, right?
Yeah.
The rest of us, we're just like, oh yeah, discharge, totally cool, everything's fine. Right, cool, okay. Yeah. But like, it really is a normal experience. We were meant to do this all together.
Oh, totally.
And I think that the best way to learn is from like firsthand accounts. So which is why, this podcast exists because like there are firsthand accounts of all the different facets of motherhood. And so that was great. And then there's also like spiritual midwifery is a great one. The one thing I will say about like these sort of like more like crunchy, holistic books and resources is just that there could be some unfortunate shame around medical intervention, which I just want to say is truly unfortunate.
Yeah. Again, more information, better. If you can be crunchy granola and if you can birth this baby like you were a cave woman living in a cave, cool. But it is 2023 and we have hospitals and doctors to intervene. So if like that's necessary, like that's cool.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty cool.
They're all, it's so cool. And there are birthing classes that you can take with Zach.
Did you do that?
I did do that, but I also had a doula because I knew that Dan... I have this image of Dan going, all right, 1, 2, 3, a push! I just like, he was so excited, and like, that wasn't exactly what I was looking for, but I did have a doula that I knew would be more zen. I actually didn't like my doulas in the end, but we did take a birthing class together.
Because we're on the fence whether we need a doula or not, and because I have the most involved husband of all husbands in the entire universe, I'm like, I think he could just, he's the doula. I think we take the classes, he learns the things, he does the things, and he'll do it.
I think he'll do it. And it's really bonding.
Yeah, so it just would feel strange for like me to like have this experience with the doula and he just like chills out and watches. Like that's not our style. So I don't know.
I don't think you. I mean, I like doulas for we've had like doulas here, and I think they could be really, really helpful. But I also think like I know Dan was really squeamish about blood and all the other fluids. I don't know that he would be that way now because, like, as a parent, you just have to get used to mess.
Yeah.
Body mess. And it is a really bonding experience.
Yeah.
So, like, if he would educate himself, there are doula handbooks that you can hand to him.
Yeah.
To help you because you labor for a long time at home.
Exactly. And that's what I want. I have a lot of preferences wants. Like I love a plan. I think I have a plan. I think I have all the things I want, what I prefer, but baby will do what baby's going to do.
Baby will come into the world after you said, you know what, I'm not ready. Like
baby's like, I'll show you.
Yeah. You said October, Mom. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
For a long time, you'll probably be home. I wasn't home, interestingly, for my first because I was laboring, but I didn't know it.
Wild.
I was just walking around spilling amniotic fluid all over New York City.
Fertilizing the grass.
Bless you and you and you for 2 days straight.
Wow.
All of you. Yeah.
Wow,
but they did send us home for a little bit and like bouncing on the ball. But I think a class is really bonding.
Yeah.
I think it's bonding. I think a class also is helpful because people don't realize, like, even with an epidural, you labor for a long time by yourself because you have to contract enough times to dilate to a certain point. Normally, just in general. This is probably, you're going to come back. She's going to come back and be like, everything you said, by the way, no. But often you need to wait in order to dilate enough for a head to come out of you. Yeah. And then the rest of the guy. Look at her face.
Like your hands are like this, and that's accurate, but it's like your body's down here and it's like this. So it's like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, like your little vagina hole is going to have a person come out of it. And you know what's so crazy? Do you see the 3 people in this room and all the people listening to us right now? Those motherfuckers lived in a uterus. I'd say 25% of them came out of a belly like me, but 75% probably entered this world through a vagina.
I literally just watched a video. I think I get served so much mom content because we make this show. And
I'm so sorry.
No, I love it. And also like it was me. Anyway, I was watching a video and it was a person that does like claymation, like pottery, just showing you like what 1 centimeter,
opening
2 centimeter, 8 centimeters
it doesn't hurt.
Is wild.
It doesn't hurt.
It's wild.
No, it doesn't.
But it's significant.
Oh, 8 centimeters?
Huge.
What is it, like this big?
Way bigger.
It's big. It's like you could definitely
But then it comes back
through
down,
it.
you guys, to just pee-pee size. To
Bonkers.
just tiny little pee-pee size. But then you look down at your bellies. So what's so interesting is that, like, you are almost, like, wrapping your head around it. Also, what's really interesting is that, like, you're so doped up on whatever fucking chemicals are going on. You're like, whatever gets this baby out, like.
Absolutely. The natural hormone drugs that have been pumping through my body since being pregnant are really fun. I've never been so chill. I was actually very afraid for like a long time that I would be a little like unstable while pregnant, just very emotional, up and down, roller coaster, just the whole thing, which a lot of people have that. And I'm like, this is the most like well-adjusted version of me I've ever been.
Yeah.
I'm just chilling. And like,
it's really cool.
I'm a little spacey, but that's kind of nice.
I mean, honestly, who really wants to be here all the time?
Being so present and so like go, and and just like trying to be on top of your shit all the time is exhausting. To be a little bit like, I don't know where my keys are and I haven't seen them in 3 days.
You are in this like other zone. I mean, really, you're creating human life. Yeah. I can't stress that enough. All of a sudden, I was in an Uber when I was pregnant with my first child, and I was like, I just looked at the guy. I was like, were part of this experience with your mom too.
Yeah.
And all of it's really like, it really is a psychedelic trip. It's like all of these people also.
Yeah.
I remember Trump was president and like I was, feeling feelings and I was totally disappointed, but I also in my heart was like, he has a mother. Well, she did a terrible job, but she did terribly. But like, that's crazy. Like even bad people.
Yeah.
Anyway, it really is.
Yeah.
So you're in another zone and you will be for a while.
I feel that. Yeah. It's like totally.
Even after the kid's out, you're going to be like in another zone.
Absolutely. I feel like the whole thing's a big identity shift.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just feel it. I'm like, I don't know how to articulate this. Like, I was at my my best friend from high school's bachelorette party like a weekend or two ago. And like being pregnant and there was like weird.
Because everyone else was just like partying and stuff?
Yes, and just like it just is like a very different. Like I didn't really feel that when I got married. Like turning 30 didn't feel like that for me. Nothing, really was like.
Oh, you're an adult now.
But being pregnant and like being on a plane and being like, but I'm taking care of my baby, but I'm like going to like throw this party for my best friend and like make sure all these girls have fun. We're gonna do all these things, but like I'm actually like most importantly like I gotta take care of my baby.
Yeah.
And by taking care of my baby, it's like taking care of me and like
still, by the way, that's a still thing.
Yes.
That's like forever thing. Taking care of you is really, really, really important.
Yeah, which I guess I'm practicing now because I'm like, I need water, I need this, I need food, I need sleep.
Yeah, but don't forget that after the baby comes, okay?
Yeah.
It's very easy to forget that. Like
Yeah.
everyone's eyeballs are so on you now and then they're going to go.
Yeah.
You keep your eyeballs on yourself.
Yeah.
I'm
pretty needy, so I feel like I'll just hopefully remain needy and then I will be taken care of.
Yes. And
By
also
myself.
Zach loves you so much. I think you just have to remind him to take care of you because I think sometimes people need reminders because there is a tiny, 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 very dependent person.
Yes.
That's going to like enter the mix.
Yeah.
And like it's so obvious that they need your
All the
help.
attention.
Yeah. But not all the attention.
Yeah. Wild.
Like they say the first 90 days of postpartum are really important for the mother to restore all of your nutrients. There's a great book. I think it's called The First 40 Days maybe.
I've heard of that, and then I've also
I had it on me.
the first 40 days.
Do you like to cook?
I do-ish. I'm not like great, but I like.
Do other people in your family like to cook?
Yes, but I want to cook the meals that you're supposed to eat.
Yeah.
And
They
then
have like a lot of nutrients and mothering the mother is really important right after the baby is born.
yeah.
So,
I mean, what you just went through.
and what you're going through. I mean, it's a privilege.
Yeah.
It is absolutely like an honor and a privilege to be pregnant, to bring life into the world. And it's a huge undertaking.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
So like it's 9 months of a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. I love when people refer to postpartum as the fourth trimester.
Yeah.
To like include it in the like birthing process or the prenatal like it's all like a one package.
Yeah. And it's why like the conversation around going back to work is it's vulnerable because like we have to be honest that actors need to work and that we've been off for the 6 months prior and all of that. And in those first 3 months, you're still getting all of your energy back. So, like that's just something to note.
Yeah.
And also like a lot of people don't have that time with their kids after their maternity leave where artists do.
I'm really excited that I feel like I have a lot of choice and freedom, if jobs come up or if I pursue jobs that I'm a little more in control. I feel like my career won't leave me in the dust like it would, I guess, in corporate America. I haven't been a part of that ever in my life. But, if you're like on a track and doing your corporate job, like you need to go back eventually. They want, but I do feel like I have some choice and hope that I can like ease back into that when I want.
When you want, when you're ready, when
Yeah.
it's like worthwhile.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not dire, but if it does feed you, because you're an artist. And taking care of you is taking care of your baby.
Aww.
It's like all of these things you're practicing now, and you're like, do you talk to the baby?
Zach sings to it.
Yay!
And I rub it.
But like, all these things that you're practicing now, like really are the same. They're the same on the outside.
Yeah.
Did we cover all of your questions and all of your maybe even advice?
If there was like one major thing you could impart on someone about the fourth trimester, if you will, what would that be? Like, you kind of are like, take care of yourself, make sure people know to take care of you. But like, I don't know, maybe if it's something more...
Sounds so intense.
If there's something more specific or more something, or I don't know, along those lines.
I just think like, I know they say like, it's such an annoying thing to say like, enjoy it. But I want to say, it really is such a special time. Like being pregnant is special, even when you're nauseous, even like, it really is so special. That like, I'm not saying to passively enjoy it, but to make active decisions, to make yourself comfortable, to make yourself present to the experience, because it is like so enormous.
Yeah.
And it's like in that first year, they grow very quickly, but that first like introduction to this person who lived on the inside of you, who's now a totally independent human being with their own personality.
Yeah, nuts.
It's crazy. So I'm not saying to just like enjoy it, but if you can make active decisions, like if you need more sleep and you want to get a baby nurse, please do. If you want a postpartum doula, please go get that help. If you're like, I want so badly to lactate and like it's not coming, get a lactation consultant. Like there are people out there who are willing to help. If you need a date night, like hand the baby over to your mom with a bottle.
Yeah.
Like, or if you just want to do it yourself, like with my daughter Paz, I had a lot of help with Ness and I felt like they were really intrusive. I wanted to be with my baby.
Interesting.
And I had like sort of scaffolded this experience where like I had so much help where I was like, I just want this cocoon time for me and him and my husband. So I did that for myself with the second. And I really enjoyed it. I co-slept with her.
Cool. Co-sleeping in bed or with like your bassinets attached to your bed?
I didn't do it with a bassinet attached, although that's probably better. I did it with like something called a DockATot or a Swaddle Me. I don't think that's safe, actually.
Okay.
But I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed her.
Yeah.
And if you're not enjoying the experience, make the conscious decision to like it more.
Yeah.
This way or that way. Space. Closeness. Like there are a lot of variables that you can make it nice. And I feel like Zach is really so romantic. But like it could just be as simple as like having someone feed you or handing the baby over for him to do the diaper.
Yeah.
And the wiping and the burping.
Yeah.
While you take a shower.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it is really intense and you're not sleeping a lot.
Crazy.
It could be so beautiful.
Yeah.
It really is such a beautiful, beautiful experience. I think to myself, I want another baby. I mean, don't let me do that. But it really is such a beautiful experience. And it ends.
Yeah.
That part of the journey ends, that fourth trimester. Really, it's not forever.
Yeah.
So if you can make the active choice to pivot when need be.
I love that.
Because your delight is important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where can we find you to follow along on your pregnancy journey?
Oh, I would love for anyone and everyone to follow me along on my pregnancy journey. I am documenting it a lot. On Instagram specifically, my Instagram handle is at @Ali_Cobrin. That's ALI_COBRIN.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And congratulations.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
Zach, congratulations. Great job. Great job. I'm sorry.
work.
I'm sorry this guy's not going to be a Leo, but you never know. Is it?
It shouldn't be a Leo. We're hoping it's just not a Gemini.
My sister's a Gemini. Love her and her other personality too. Bye, guys. I'm Daniela Rabbani. You can follow me at Daniela Rabbani on Instagram to continue the conversation. I'll see you next week on the Mom Curious podcast. Thank you, as always, for listening to the Mom Curious podcast. My name is Daniela Rabbani. I am your host, and I would love to continue this conversation at Daniela Rabbani on Instagram. And if you'd be so kind to rate and review, share this podcast, I would be just really grateful. Catch you next time, every Tuesday on the Mom Curious podcast, produced by Hoff Studios. You can find them at Hoff Studios on Instagram as well. All right, have a great day.